Peace to the beautiful family. Peace to the family. You're speaking with Brother Polight right now at this hour. And the name of the game is... Look at my baby girl.
Hi.
Look at my baby girl. Looking right about to hide. I'm about to turn on you. There you go. She treats me like paparazzi.
No, I don't.
Hey, hey. That's my ginger shot, actually. It's just bigger than normal. Okay.
You know, you need to actually do a stream on A1 Market.
Yeah, I know. I need to let them know.
This is better than Trader Joe's.
Yeah, this is actually revered as the greatest vegan supermarket in America, actually. Never mind. I mean, vegan options and herbs. They actually sell quality
They have
herbs.
a whole fresh bar
Look at this.
with fresh organic juices that are made every day.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at this.
For a big ginger shot.
Oh, yeah, giant ginger shot.
I love ginger shots.
Gotta get that cayenne pepper in there. Lime. Ginger.
Coconut milk yogurt.
Coconut milk yogurt. It's not actually yogurt, people.
Technically, it is. It's just not dairy yogurt. Yogurt is not just dairy. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
All right.
She has to battle me everything I do.
I'm just saying.
Thank you. I sit corrected. All right? I'm not even going to start that crap with you today. Make sure y'all share this video about to go in. Got me some dragon fruit. But man, look at this. You can still see the cayenne pepper there. You know, because it's red, it promotes circulation. If it's yellow, it definitely promotes digestion. Remember, I told you how the color scheme works. Nature gives us colors, so those colors are our GPS. It lets us know what we can do. For those of you that need to log on to get to the app, do not attempt to download the app right now. What you do is you go to www.brotherpolight.app. Go to brotherpolight.app and register for the upcoming health class and wealth stewardship class. Talking about creating generational wealth, not just wealth in the now. We'll deal with that. We're gonna have a cryptocurrency class. You need to know about that. It's gonna be off the chain, and we definitely gonna deal with health. Anybody that's suffering from diabetes, suffering from cancer, suffering from anemia, you need to be in that class, that course. I'm gonna show you how to mix up the herbs. Why? I'm gonna show you the tools that you need to purchase to mix up the herbs. Why? I want you to do it yourself so it can be cheaper, so you can stop saying it's too expensive buying people's packages. So I'm actually gonna take the time out to show you in what combinations do you mix certain herbs, which herbs cancel each other out, which ones cater to your lymphatic system, which ones promote osmoregulation, which ones are in conformity with your circadian rhythm depending on the hours out the day. Very interesting, very important information. I'll write it for you right now. I'll write it for you right now. Okay. I put it there. It's pinned to the top. It's brotherpolight.app. Actually, I stop moving my head towards the food and bring the food towards me. I drink 4 to 6 coconuts a day. Yeah, very late.
I know.
I was looking for you. Definitely looking for you. So right here I got, what's this? Dragon fruit. Why dragon fruit? One of the reasons I have dragon fruit right here is because it's high. Polight, it's not safe to be consuming food this time of night. Do you know what time it is, where I'm at? Did you ask which coast I'm on, bro? Did you ask what coast I'm on? According to circadian rhythm. What food did you see here? You see a ginger shot you see 2 coconuts, you see some water, and you see some dragon fruit. And you say, it's not good to eat this time of hour. And it's 8:21 where I'm at. What time do you think it was over here? But like, it's not safety at this hour. It's 8:21, and all you see is water. Basically, the dragon fruit is 88% water, 12% minerals and vitamins. So what does this tell you? And it has little to no cholesterol. Dragon fruit is a misnomer for water. It is. That's right. You know, they high for life over here. Just say dragon fruit and people in uproar happily. Yeah, I know, we won't entertain it. That's just weird. So, dragon fruit is one of the #1 plant-based foods that's high in fiber. It's very good to consume high in fiber foods, especially towards the latter stages of the day. Why do you want to consume high in fiber foods towards the latter stages of the day? So you can wake up to that good morning poop. Now, let me stop. Well, what happens is your body clocks out at 10:30, but you want to have some things working towards the evening time. You don't want to eat a whole bunch of food after 10:30, and that normally happens because you didn't get the right amount of calories or the right amount of minerals in addition to calories during the day. We'll discuss that. And so you tend to overcompensate in the nighttime. The problem with that is that creates excess in liquid, and then it warms up inside of the body. What that does, the body clocks out, the cells clock out, and then you're behind schedule when it comes to digestion. And what the body will do is store all that extra waste into your colon. It'll store the extra waste into your colon. You don't want that. But you want to promote bowel movement. So the dragon fruit is amazing for that. And then in addition to that, dragon fruit is high in monosaturated fat. Very good for your heart. And it also improves the blood sugar levels. That's very important information for people who have diabetes. Why? Well, we gotta ask ourselves, what is the whole thing about diabetes anyway? The problem with diabetes, or the problem diabetes gives us, is when we say blood sugar, that's a fancy terminology for glucose. When we say blood sugar, we talking about glucose. Glucose is going to be very key to the class that I'm going to be teaching. Make sure you sign up for the courses. Those courses is going to be very important. It's going to come with 1 economic course and 2 health courses. Then it's going to come with 2 economic courses and 1 health course 2 weeks later. December 17th and 18th is going to be the 3 classes that's going to make up the health course, but it's going to have 1 economic course as an appendage. We're going to speak about cryptocurrency. You got to learn about what that is, and wealth stewardship, which is creating generational wealth now and hereafter. Not just wealth now, I spend it, I need to re-up, I need to find another hustle, I just spent that money, I just paid my credit card bills. Wealth stewardship is not discussed enough in our community, and it needs to be discussed. So we're going to talk about that as well. All right, so we back to diabetes. Okay, and you got to register www.brotherpolight.app. The new app will be relaunched. Don't download the old app right now. Don't do it. Go to brotherpolight.app. Follow those instructions. Do not attempt to download the app. Go to brotherpolight.app. I must say this, because no matter how much I say it, people are going to attempt to download the app, and they're going to tell me, yo, I downloaded the app, and this is what it said. Don't think when relaunch comes, you're going to download that same one either. Register here. All right? Now that we're taking a lot of time out for that, and we will have to again later, make sure you share this video, very important. So when we talk about diabetes as an example, we're talking about blood sugar levels. And the dragon fruit helps balance or maintain our blood sugar levels. Very good fruit. In addition to the fact it's one of the highest things in fiber that's plant-based on planet Earth. In addition to that, it's high in monosaturated fat, which means it's very good for the heart. When we're talking about health, I mean, there's so much things to talk about, but let's get to the blood sugar levels. what the heck does blood sugar level mean? Well, there's type 1 diabetes and there's type 2 diabetes. And in either event, the problem is the body's ability to get glucose into the walls of the cell so the cell can use it for activity, for metabolism, for changes that need to take place. You need energy, you need activity. So the problem is, in either event, whether it's type 1 or type 2 diabetes, this is not a diabetes stream, but we're going to go into some of this, your body's having a problem. When you're talking about blood sugar levels, your body's having a problem saying, I'm going to open up the door. The cell's having a problem opening up the door to allow glucose in. For some reason, the body's blocking or stopping the glucose or the blood sugar from going in. That is an issue. Dragon fruit is one of your preventive steps that you can take towards a better way of living. Now, we talking about being calculative. I said, stop being lazy. When we talk about health and we talk about wealth, it's important for us to stop being lazy in our approach. What does that mean? If I have to tell you the things that need to be done for you to idealistically establish wealth and establish health, ideally, many of you would say, man, I didn't know I had to do so much thinking to stay alive. My goodness. The problem is you should have been taught this from school so it could be normalized, this information. I'm going to give you an example. You have carbohydrates, protein, and fat. When you eat something that has fat in it, right? And then we got to ask, what kind of fat? There's monosaturated fat and polysaturated fat. Those are your good fats. Where can I get a source of good fats? And we got to find out what's a good fat and what's a bad fat. What makes them good and what makes them bad. This is why you need the course. But I'll tell you this. The fatty acids that you can get that are safe, as an example, is in the avocado. And that's a good source of polysaturated fats. And you get that omega-3, which you normally get told to get fish oil to get that omega-3, which is good for the brain. Okay? But let's go here. Oh, I appreciate y'all appreciation. Let's go here. Let's really talk. When you eat a meal, how long does it take for you to be affected by the meal? Many of you think, man, the second I put this food in my mouth, I feel better. A lot of that is mental, people. What you're getting is the euphoric response of knowing that the body's signaling, the body is sending signals to the rest of the body saying something's going to eventually happen. And you get comfort. So what happens is you get endorphins and all sorts of things start secreting to make you feel better because the body knows in due time, based on calculation, we will be energized. It's not that you're being energized in real time. And that's why it's very important to eat food that feeds the cells and to be calculative with what you eat. Why? Because the body sends signals like you are about to do the right thing. And then hours later, the body's like, hit or miss. Miss. You really didn't do the right thing. So you're hungry again. And you're hungry again. And your body has to take from what little bit of source or trace minerals and nutrients that you're giving it to do something with itself. So let's do this. You have about 1,500 calories by way of glucose reserves. You got 1,500 on glucose reserves. Your body wakes up every day and says, we got 1,500. In the event you run out of energy, you can access this if and when you need this.
Is that for all heights and body weight?
Yeah, ideally. You got 1,500. Women that's conceiving, granted, different. If you're overweight, it becomes tricky because your body goes into fight or flight when it thinks it's starving. So if you've learned to gluttonize and you're overweight, then you need more than 1,500 psychologically, but less in actuality. You could condition your body to think you need more than that because of your habits. And now when you deprive your body of the habits you have violently or vehemently or spontaneously, you're obese, you're overweight, you've been eating the wrong way, exercising the wrong type of lifestyle, and then you go cold turkey, your body's like, no, I need that regimen. But no matter what, on a standard, your body has designated for you to have 1,500 calories associated with glucose reserves. You have 1,500 on glucose reserves. All right? And what happens is when you have 1,500 on glucose reserves, we now have to calculate how to not use it throughout the day, or to use very little of it throughout the day. So this is what it means to have an anabolic and catabolic passageway. This is what it means to have a reserve tank and a backup tank. This is what this means when it comes to energy. All right, when it comes to energy. So you have 1,500 on glucose reserves. This is why it has to be taught in school while they was teaching you math. Now I asked the class today, how long does it take for carbohydrates to register in your system to be converted into usable energy? Because when you eat a plate of food, you think you're being satisfied almost instantaneously because the body is signaling help has arrived. No different from if you was in a burning building and you hear fire trucks, you would be happy. It would create a sensation that someone's going to save you. And you misinterpret the sensation that someone's coming to save you as though you've been saved immediately. But you have to still be saved nonetheless. They have to still go in there. They have to, put the towel on, roll around. Don't raise that window. You let the oxygen in, you'll inflame already bad situation. See, the safety measures, the saving hasn't taken place. What you're experiencing is a sigh of relief that there's a possibility things will go right, but you still can burn in that building. But the sirens do give you a sense of peace because you was in duress. So what happens is the central nervous system is a very primitive system. I don't want to say primitive. It's a very ancient system. It's been here for over 100,000 years. So you still have that hunter-gatherer gene going in. Once you start feeling like you're starving because the food you're eating is not feeding the cells, your body starts shutting down things that you need to stay calm. So now stress starts building up. You start producing or secreting a lot of cortisol, stress hormones. Okay? Your adrenal glands start producing way too much adrenaline because you're starting to go into animal mode. And anything that someone presents to you, everything smells good. You'll eat almost anything you never eaten before because the scent is so alluring, you'll start walking over there and say, I just need a piece of that. Because you're going back into a primitive state of mind because it's a very ancient system. And you'll revert back or digress into the old state of mind when it's like, look, I'm ready to kill something and eat this meat raw if I have to, goddammit, because I'm hungry. And you start getting violent or negative or very frustrated, very mean with people, very over anxious, because that is your central nervous system once your body feels like it's being starved. Problem is you'll eat food and not realize your body feels like it's being starved. So a lot of people with negative energy, negative attitudes, they're starving. Their body's been deprived of what it actually needs, and you're constantly eating things, giving it the misimpression or false signals. It's no different from a woman making you think, yeah, she want to be with you, and you be friends with her for 2-3 years, and then one day you pop the question on her like, look, I want to get real close to you. You know, I want us to really take this to the next level. And she said, I can't be with you. We're just friends. And you go, so I've been friends this whole time to only be friends for another whole time? And you're overwhelmed. You're like, yo, you pissed off. You feel like she misled you. She's wearing nice dresses and pumps, heels, everything like that, fishnets. You even went out to some dates, some dinner. You think you really hitting it off, and the whole time it was just free meal for the system. And you feel away. That's how your body feels. Your body feels like you're about to get into a better relationship with it, and you keep letting it down. That's how your body feels. So the question is, let's go back. And I want to take y'all back into a very dark place, as they call it, and you start being upset with people you used to be with. So we don't get distracted, because I can see you being distracted. I can feel it. Here's the question. How long does it take carbohydrates to register in your system to become usable energy from the time you eat it? Carbohydrates takes 1 to 2 hours before it can be used by you. Protein takes 3 to 4 hours before it can be used by you. And fat takes 5 to 6 hours before it can be used by you. So let's just say you start eating at 8 o'clock. Let's say you have a plate of food at 8 o'clock in the night. You won't feel the impact of that food until 2 a.m. in the morning, and you'll probably be asleep. What good is that? We're talking about using the energy when you need it. So you always got to think 6 hours ahead anytime you eat right now. You got to think 6 hours. Whatever you eat has to have an impact on you inside of 6 hours. Whatever you eat has to have an impact on you inside of 6 hours. So let's do it again. Carbohydrates take 1 to 2 hours to become usable energy. Proteins take 3 to 4 hours to become usable energy. And fats take 5 to 6 hours to become usable energy. So when you eat that food off that plate, strategically you have to place your carbs a certain way, because you need that energy. If you've been starving yourself, now you strategically have to eat carbs a certain way, because that's going to be the first thing to burn and register. The second thing to burn and register is going to be protein. So why is protein so important? It's not that protein is so important because of all the mythos they tell you. Protein is important because it's the through line between what takes the quickest and what takes the longest for you to use in terms of energy. And you don't want to OD on fat. And you don't want to OD on carbs. And you tend to be able to take more protein safely than you can take carbs safely in abundance than you can take fat safely in abundance. Never heard somebody ODing on protein. Now, I'm not going to tell you eat as much as protein as possible. I'm not going to tell you that. What I'm going to tell you is you eat too much carbs, you're going to wind up in a problem. You eat too much fats, you're going to wind up in a problem. So protein tends to be very important because it is in the middle of what takes quicker or longer to burn. And you can take more of protein than you can take of carbs and fats without implicating yourself health-wise. So the most important thing takes 4 hours to turn into usable energy. So you eat protein now, you will not reap its benefits until 3 to 4 hours from the time you eat it. So you have to actually think about that. That's why I said we got to be calculative when it comes to health. Now when you look at your plate, look at it in terms of hours of usable energy. And your plate is going to look very different now. And then tell yourself the most important thing I need on this plate is the protein, as they call it. And this is going to take 3 to 4 hours before I actually can access the energy it has to offer me. So the carbs strategically are going to be used just to hold you off or hold you by until the protein kicks in. That's the way you want to eat carbs. Okay? And then the fat is going to come in 6 hours later. And that fat is really your snack. That fat, you want to treat that as, okay, the protein did its job. But in case, I need a little something after, the fat will kick in. Now, what's the strategy behind all this? Basically, you want to create a situation where after 6 hours, you want to create a situation where after 6 hours, you don't feel like you're starving for food. And then you got to understand, based on your BMI, your body mass index, calories you burn about 100 calories per hour. The average person burns about 100 calories per hour if they're not overweight. All right, baby. Yeah.
Can you OD on avocado?
I believe you can OD on anything because it's all about balancement. But avocado I call it technology because it's the only thing that has that much good fat to offer us, coupled with fiber. So you actually can do a whole lot with it than any other food. Hold on real quick. Yes. Sorry about all that. Y'all walking with me? Okay. And then don't get caught with these misnomers either, because I'm saying protein for the sake of understanding, but then just like there are several fats, over 50 fats or fatty acids we should talk about, then there's also different types of protein, and not all protein is good for the body. So the protein that you may be looking for, you know, may not be good for the body. Facts. Okay? So, and then also like the iron source that you're using may not be good for the body. The iron source that you want is from dark green leafy vegetables, raw cocoa, or cacao, as some would say, or maca. You know, these are sources of iron that you want that's conducive to your body. I'm talking high sources like kale, red kale. You get a great amount of iron from red kale. All right, so it's not enough that you say, let me get iron and let me get protein, but then you have to find out what protein, because some protein tears away at the bone. Some protein isn't designed for human beings to be eaten. Even though they eat it and they consume it quite often, it's killing them. It's taken away from their bone density. And some iron isn't good for the human body, and the reason why it's not good is because at what consequence do you have to take that iron if it's accompanied by flesh or red meat? I mean, yeah, you get your iron, but then you also get a host of other problems. And then you might want your protein from chicken, but chicken, which has the crude protein in it, you're going to have to take in uric acid and ammonia, which in turn is going to create arthritis over years of eating that chicken for a source of protein. And so we get old in our community and we believe that we're supposed to get brittle bones. We believe we're supposed to have backaches. We believe we're supposed to be in pain, have problems with our joints, because it's been cultured to eat the wrong way, so it's been cultured to get sick the same way. Now I say things and they can be looked up. So the key to health, we have to be calculative, and this is what we're going to teach in the community. One, you're going to definitely need to get you a CT scan. It's a heart test. You need to get a CT scan. You should also take an IQ test. I tell you in the course why the IQ test is so very important as well. It has a lot to do with health. Not all this, you know, I know it means intelligent quotient, right? Well, what is being divided or what is divisible when we talk about quotient? What are the factors that are significant to our health? Very important. So you need an IQ test. You need a CT scan. You need a serious allergy test to test the lipids in your body, test the testosterone in your body, test the amount of estrogen in your body. This is for males and females. You need to be able to get proper assessments. You may be allergic to foods that don't respond loudly. This means that I can tell you what foods are good for you in general, but you yourself need to take an allergy test, because you may not know that the foods that are good for us in general, some of them you may be allergic to. And the doctors don't even tell you to go this far. This is something that you have to acquire in knowledge by way of someone who knows better. And so once we get all these variables out the way, and even eating according to your blood type is important, as I'm a blood type O, so I don't want to consume wheat and I don't want to consume orange juice, as two examples. Because when orange juice and wheat comes into my body interprets it as a disease. It interprets it as a foreign invader. It doesn't see it as food. Okay? It doesn't become a digestive issue, it becomes an immunity issue. Okay? So it's a huge distraction from what I could get from food if my body is interpreting food as a form of germ warfare. Hope you're walking with me. Just taking my time, man. Hope you're walking with me, man. I gotta do this ginger shot. This is lime juice, cayenne pepper, and ginger. If it's yellow, you know it's good for digestion. The cayenne pepper's red, so it's good for blood circulation. This stuff is not difficult, people. The herbs work the same way as the spices. And you're gonna have a good time learning how herbs cancel each other out. To not just mix anything because, oh, this is good for this and this is good for that. You don't want to just be mixing any herbs together. And then even if they are compatible, they could cancel each other out if you make one have too much than the other. So there's got to be fair ratios. Well, I'm doing the health course because it's that time of year. And I don't want people saying it's too expensive to be healthy. So I'm going to show you step by step. Yeah, I'm going to hurt the game. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of vegan hustlers who's going to be mad at me. Because anytime I do this and I just show you step by step how to do these things yourself, people get mad. Treat me like their enemy. But this is an option for people who don't have the thousands of dollars to pay for health. And if you listen to my streams right now, and you actually look up what I'm saying, you say, my goodness, I don't know where he found this information from, but now that he's put me onto it, it's checking out. I mean, Sabi only slept in my house several times as a family member, just showing love. We only hung out. I was only the only brother that he was doing any lectures with in several cities. Well, you don't need that for credibility. What you need is research to loan me credibility. If what I'm saying is true, that's the only thing you really need to give you conviction. Everything else is an appendage to that conviction. Guys do this, eyes closed, upside down. I have to hold my breath for X amount of minutes. Of course, I'm exaggerating. But this information is right here. It never leaves me. We have to be extremely calculative when it comes to our health. We have to be mathematical. It may be overwhelming to sit here and say, let me look at my food like a clock. When I put my food together, I already know that the fat in this coconut right here, watch this. I know this is my Gatorade drink, and I'm going to get the 5 major or the 5 electrolytes that's inside of the water. This is my Gatorade, minus all that garbage sugar. That's going to put me in that diabetes situation. I know this is some of the fat that I'm going to get. So I know this ain't going to register in my body until about 6 hours later. But this is very good for me. But I know the nutrients that I'm getting out of here, the trace minerals, is going to register inside the first 30 minutes. The liquid itself. I know this is the fiber, so this is going to promote bowel movement. So any of this fat that I don't need in excess, this is going to get out of here. This is monosaturated fat, so it's going to help my heart. Why? Because I work out very early in the morning, so I'm preparing for my morning workout because I get out 5 in the morning, 5:30, and I start working out. Because I'm a vegan, I don't want to get too slim in the process of all this working out. In fact, I build muscle mass because of my workout, and because this is very low in cholesterol or has little to none, it keeps me polarized in my experience, so I don't lose or gain in the process when I eat this. What I eat after this will be the determining factor if I lose or I gain. What I do after this, well, because this is my liaison officially, I'm straight. There's little to no cholesterol, high in fiber, so it's just going to do the job I want it to do. I'm getting my minerals right here. And you see, when I work out, let me explain something to you. Oh, first, let me do this. So I know this is 6 hours. You feel me? I know this is 6 hours right here. And I know this is a few minutes. In a few minutes, this has hit the bloodstream, and I'm going to feel the impact already. I'm going to be revived the second I drink this. But 6 hours from now, I'm going to get this. Now let me explain this. After I work out, before I work out, I weigh myself. Why do I weigh myself before I work out? Because when I'm done working out, I'm going to weigh myself again. And I may realize I lost 1.5 pounds. I'm going to wear the same exact clothes I had on. Or if I'm in the crib, I'll weigh myself with as little clothes possible, just probably my boxes. I'll come back after the workout, weigh myself again. And I may say, yo, I lost like 1.5 pounds. And so if I lost like 1.5 pounds, then what I know is I'm gonna need about 24 fluid ounces to replace that 1.5 pounds of fluid. Of course, I know I'm losing minerals, so I gotta know what type of minerals am I losing when it comes to sweating, because I wanna replace that. I wanna make sure that I don't overheat the body, because sweat is a part of the cooling system. So I need to replace whatever is being used to perspire. But one thing I do know for sure, if I have an intense workout or just a good workout in general, I know if I weigh myself before and I weigh myself after, I could come to grips with how much fluid I need to replace. The reason why I need to know how much fluid I need to replace, because naturally, instinctively, without this mind, the ancient central nervous system will give us the false impression that we're hungry when we're thirsty. And so we'll eat ourselves into dehydration and deprivation of the right minerals, nutrients, and fluids. Because after a workout, many of you think you need to, first of all, many of you stretch before the workout, and you should stretch after the workout. And you should stretch after the workout, after drinking some coconut water, as an example. So you can enforce circulation through the body to get those nutrients where it needs to go, having lost those important vitamins and minerals through sweat. So you should stretch after. It's very dangerous, actually, stretching before. There'd be less problems if people stretch after they worked out. This is real talk. Yeah, I'm telling you, I know it sounds backwards, but they teach us backwards. So first of all, you should weigh yourself before you work out, and weigh yourself after you've worked out. And then the difference represents the amount of fluids that you need to take in, because that represents the amount of fluids you lost in the interim of working out. You re-up on the right liquids, and then you stretch to help distribute those vitamins and minerals. It's all about mathematics. You consider that you probably burn about 100 calories per hour. And then you have to consider how many hours do you stay awake day to day. Okay? You might be staying up 18 hours a day. So if you're burning 100 calories per hour, not considering if you're working out, you're already at 1,800 calories and you only have 1,500 in your glucose reserves. So you're 300 negative. You don't want to wind up 300 negative. It's going to cause you to overcompensate. That means to gluttonize and eat more than you need to. And what your body's going to do first is put it in your glucose reserves before it gives it back to you, because it made a promise to you that we're always going to give you 1,500 to start your day with. So those reserve calories, or those glucose reserves at 1,500, that's going to be dealt with first before you get dealt with. So you can wake up real sluggish in the morning, because what you are going to get in energy has to be put in the backup tank for you to have gas. And in the event that you run out of gas, so you have that backup tank. That's your anabolic and catabolic passageways. This is all metabolism, people. So what you now got to do is say, hey, I got to look at my plate of food, and I have to determine, based on my activity during the day, how much carbs to protein to fat ratio should be on this plate. Where protein should peak more than your carbs and your fat, in retrospect to the amount of calories you burn a day. But if you're staying up at least 18 hours and you're getting 6 hours of sleep, you know, for the most part, you're probably on an 1,800 calorie construct. And that's just in general. That's just in general. We have to be very calculative when it comes to ourselves. And during the health course, I will show you how to make a proper assessment of yourself. I'm not going to make an assessment of you. I'm going to show you how to make a proper assessment of yourself. It's real talk. It's real talk. And it's no different from wealth building. You have to create your own pension. You have to create your own pension because we're subject to hyperinflation. And according to the Standard & Poor's Index, money will not have the same value or depth 30 years from now that it has now. So what does this mean? All this merely means is if you're looking forward to earning $100,000 in your pension, that $100,000 would likely be $60,000 or less. So the amount of money you walk into will be accurate, but its value will be diminished. So if you're relying on a pension, you're going to most likely need to get another job thereafter in your retirement. And who wants to come out of retirement to have to create another retirement situation again? The whole concept of retiring is to enjoy your golden years after committing yourself to so much service towards society, the economy, and building other people's dreams most times and often. Okay, so this is why I teach about having a cash and tax deferred compensation arrangement plan, which is called a QRP, a qualified retirement plan, that allows you to roll over your contributions. That is to say, if you have a previous pension plan, they most times and often will penalize you for attempting to do anything with that money, unless it's probably for a distribution. That is to say, you're willing to use your pension to purchase real estate. And even in that, if you're willing to use your pension to purchase real estate in the form of a distribution, even in that, there are penalties or surcharges. But if you have a QRP, you are able to roll over that which you have held in your pension. In this case, it's called a contribution. You're able to roll over the contributions. Hold on real quick. Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry, I had to get that call. But yeah, so you have to be calculative when it comes to this money. They got you thinking just only in the now to make this bread. And that's a setup. Because you're going to mess around and attempt to make this money only now. And every day you're going to be chasing after the next dollar. And then when you get old, you're going to be like, man, I wish I had a system or plan in place to protect me. Now, mind you, I don't sell QRPs, people. I really don't. So I'm not selling you a QRP. So when I do these courses, understand, I'm giving you direction of things that I think is very important that you should probably consider. I'm giving you direction. All right? I'm giving you direction. I don't sell whole life insurance. I don't sell term policies. I don't sell group universal insurance. I don't sell none of these things. I don't. I'm not licensed to sell these things. I'm not credentialed to sell these things. But why do I talk about it if I can't make a buck off of it? Because we would change this whole racial paradigm if enough of us knew how to use insurance as an investment vehicle. In addition, if we knew how to use trust to securitize our assets, to create a security interest, if we understood how to do a UCC filing, as simple as a UCC1 with a security agreement, and make our adjustments in the UCC3, these things will save us. Facts. You got to be calculative, and I know people like you shouldn't have to think this much to get this job done, but because you think like that, nothing's being done in the community. You know, if you was investing just a few dollars month to month in your insurance, if they were to kill you in the name of police brutality, your children would keep inheriting $500,000, $1 million. That'd be enough to say, man, this community is so hip to insurance, we got to find a different way to oppress them. We at least got to keep them alive, because every time we kill them, they keep receiving $500,000. In this era where we've been murdered so much by police, man, the next generation would be wealthy from the inheritance that we would have left them, having considered them. And that's just one example. It's just one example. It's not the only reason to get insurance. And not just any insurance, insurance that you could borrow against. So this is why I'm here. You go to brotherpolight.app to register for these classes to get right before the New Year's. Register for the classes. It's a nominal fee compared to what you're going to learn. You'll get the PDFs that come with the class. And you'll get step-by-step instructions. This is the website you go to. This is the place you got to go to. This is what it's called. This is the miscellaneous index. This is the county recorder of deeds. You feel what I'm saying? This is the tax to equalization ratio. You'll learn what blockchain is, cryptocurrency, ICOs, initial coin offerings. You got to know these things because the world's changing, and now we got a new opportunity as far as money is concerned. We got a great opportunity in crypto, but we are already behind because as a community, we're not being taught it. And when we get taught something, we on the tail end. Now you're learning about Bitcoin. By the time you learned about Bitcoin, you only could purchase or invest as a fractional investor. You learn too late, but it's not too late to deal with crypto, nor is it too late for us to have our own. And in fact, on the Brother Polight app, you gotta register brotherpolight.app. Don't download it. That's the old one. Don't use it. It ain't gonna work. Go to brotherpolight.app, register, and you'll see. We have crypted and coded jewelry. The jewelry becomes your wallet. We on some other stuff. While people talking crazy and reckless, I'm over here building because I told you I'm going to be the first black conscious billionaire. So when our energies is all together and collected, December 17th and 18th, get it in. You're interested in the classes and the courses? Sign up. Just register with brotherpolight.app and you'll get your updates on what to do, how to do it. It's going to be 3 classes in one. Saturday and Sunday. You get all the updates for what to do and how to get it done. But you know, I'm just sharing information that you could look up. Because I had a good brother call me and say, yo, Polight, man. He has his media. He be banging. Yo, you gotta get this one back, bro. I hate to see them coming at your head. Talk. Brother, they are small compared to the world that I'm connecting with. They're small compared to the world I'm dealing with. You're talking to a man that had over 500,000 people on the app that I had last time. Imagine the numbers this time around. Had over 500,000 people, 640,000 people upward. That's more than some nation's populace. Almost 250,000 on Facebook. And right now at 119,000 on Instagram. So 640,000 on the app, 250,000 on the Facebook, and 119,000 and growing on the Instagram. They would benefit more if I said something to them. Because I got a world of people who's just interested in changing their lives for the better. And gossip doesn't pay their bills. Gossip doesn't get rid of their diabetes. Gossip doesn't get rid of their cancer. Gossip doesn't get rid of the cancer, the diabetes in their parents' lives, in their children's lives. High blood pressure, cirrhosis of the liver, pancreatic issues, separate and different from diabetes, lymphatic issues, autoimmune diseases. Gossip doesn't treat any of those things. So they can't do nothing with that information. They can't do nothing with that. So I don't want to give you something you can't do nothing with. Because the time that I take out to encourage you to get involved with gossip is time you have taken away from your family. You've taken out of their mouths each hour that you waste listening to gossip. And the time that I take to enforce gossip or entertain it is time I've taken away from educating good brothers and sisters or motivating good brothers and sisters, or time I've taken away from my family or from my business.
Right now, what I just told you.
I let my success be my revenge. That's how that works. Real talk. That's how we do this. Of course, if you're interested in consulting, or conscious advisory, family, strategy, or what have you, you go to Brother Polight, and you always leave your full name and your number. You go to Brother Polight 45@gmail.com. Pardon me, Brother POLIGHT 45@gmail.com. I don't deal with the craziness. That's a fact. F gossip. We don't deal with that negativity, man. Not over here. When y'all come here, y'all know I'm coming to share knowledge. I don't got time to play. I want y'all to rest assured that when you come to my page and when you go to my platform, it's a difference. This is somebody else's platform. I got a page. If it was my platform, I'd be able to access everybody at one shot. When you come to my page, you know. Let me get my notepad out. That's right, Reginald. And those numbers don't include the watchers that haven't subscribed. Come on, family. I get this other coconut going. Yeah. Should have left it like this. Yeah, this shot strong. This ain't a shot. Actually, this ain't a shot. This is on some other stuff right here. This is my dinner. Coconut meat, dragon fruit, ginger shot, infused with lime and cayenne pepper. Getting it. I'll take one more. Take one more to the head. That's delicious. Nice little burn from the cayenne pepper. Leave them Monster Energy drinks alone, man, and get to the real deal. Get to the real deal. Get this size so I can get this straight in the morning. Second I wake up. This is my coffee. See? I want to get everything that promotes great digestion. That's what I'm about. Man, coconut water, man. Like I said, I do 4 to 6 a day. Minimum. 4 to 6 a day. And take my shots. For the email for me to consult, to Conscious Advisory, that's Brother Polight, 45@gmail.com. That's Brother POLIGHT 45@gmail.com. You always leave your full name and phone number, and we'll get it in. I'm here to coach. I'm here to coach, make it happen. Boxers have trainers. Couples have therapists. Ball players have coaches. But when it comes to this money, when it comes to this health, who we got? Nobody in our corner. Yeah, I still drink black water. I love the fulvic acid that's in it. Very good for us. Yeah, so that's how we get it in. It's part of the reason why I can sleep every other day. Jumping on these shots like that. lime, cayenne pepper, and ginger. That's it. Lime, cayenne pepper, and ginger. Man, I doubt you ever have a stomach problem after you drink that. When you drink that often, this will get rid of nausea. If somebody's nauseous, give them a shot of ginger mixed with lime and cayenne pepper. I swear to you, the nausea will be out the window. Especially people, a lot of sisters particularly, they get motion sickness when they're in cars. Have them hit one of those before they go in the car. But if they're in need after the fact, have them hit one of these. The nausea goes almost effective immediately. Facts. Getting some fat, good fat. Life is good. Remember, you only like the food that you eat because it's seasoned. You ain't gonna eat no bland chicken. You only like it because it's curry. So keep the curry and curry your vegetables. This is real talk. Thank you, Rory. He said what I'm giving people is prices. Hold on, family. Alright, family, y'all know what it is. I gotta make some calls. I thank y'all so much for being appreciative for this information. Remember, we want to go into this new year the right way. Oh, you know, I'm in LA. I'm back home. So I get a chance to do these streams and stuff before I have to start getting busy again. I just want to thank y'all so much for taking the time out to listen. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking this information serious. You can go to brotherpolight.app. If you're interested in enrolling in those classes, just register with the app and you'll get your updates. But you got to go to brotherpolight.app. Online, go to the website, brotherpolight.app, and register. And the classes will be held the 17th and 18th online. 2 wealth building classes, 2 health courses, teach you how to mix the herbs, make the herbs, respond to those various diseases. I'm showing you the facts, showing you where to go get it, how to get it, what to do with it. Also got a new book being released as well called Delicious Suicide. You know, I'm working. So I got the Delicious Suicide. You can get the book with the course. I'm showing you step by step. I can guarantee you, anybody that's ever taken my courses before, they know it's very different, it's very thorough. And we have to actually take breaks because I go in for a couple hours now. But it's straight to the point. And you got the PDF so you can follow me step by step with it. Very powerful information. Make sure you lock into it. And it's going to be 2 health courses and 1 very powerful economic course on cryptocurrency and credit. Woo! There's going to be 1 class. There's going to be 3 classes in 2 days. It's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. If you have to miss one of the day's courses, you'll make the accommodations. We'll make the necessary accommodations to make it work. Nonetheless, it's going to be a very, very powerful session. You just go to brotherpolight.app to register. If you're interested in me mentoring you, coaching you, conscious advisory, consulting, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com and you leave your full name, your phone number. Again, I thank you all so much. I appreciate you, Terrence Hill. I appreciate all of you. Just make sure you register to the app if you're interested in those courses. We're not playing games. We're going to show you step by step where to mail things, who to go to, how to send the mail, when to get it notarized, how to get it notarized, why you're doing what you're doing in the first place, what herbs to mix, what weight, what quantity, how they cancel each other out, what devices can we use to create a stronger formula for the herbs, why you want to, what herbs we can use, and what foods we can eat, what foods you don't want to eat, what type of tests you should get, how to enhance your memory. Those of you saying, I have a problem remembering things. First of all, in order for me to really get busy, I need to have memory. We're going to have that information at you too. It gets deep, people. It gets deep. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. I love teaching, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, those of you who took my course before last year, I do it towards the end of the year or the top of the year. And the reason being, because I want to see the year set off right, because we normally invest a lot of time, energy, money, and health at the end of the year in the worst way. We feed each other the wrong way towards the end of the year, and sets the stage for disease for the rest of the year. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, we're going to get intoxicated, and we're going to eat a whole bunch of horrible foods that contradict our 1500 glucose reserve, right? Contradicts what our body really needs. And it's going to take almost the rest of the year to recover from the holiday season. And most of us never do. Then we bury our family and we cry as though we don't understand that we're the ones that buried them. We encourage the behavior. And shortly after, we'll be the next ones on the hit list. So this is why I do this towards the end of the year or the top of the year. So I'm doing this December 17th and 18th so we can get it in. And also, after spending all that money engaging in these rituals and these holidays that don't cater to us specifically. So that's why we have to have the wealth stewardship class. That's why we have to have a system of common customs. That's why we have to teach about generational wealth and different strategies. It's not something you have to pay me per se. It's something that you'll know where to go, what to do and how to do it and who to do it with. Okay? So I'm looking forward to it. This is adult conversation though. This ain't for everybody. This is grown folk conversation. I ain't got no rumors or no gossip for you. I gotta give you something that's worth your time to even say I'm gonna listen to you as opposed to watch what's on TV. So that's why I thank you all for listening to me and taking me serious. I take you very serious. I will deliver an amazing course. Each class will be very dynamic. The PowerPoints is going to be very effective. And like I said, you get to keep the PDFs filled with the instructions. So it's like I took the notes for you. But you still can take notes, but you won't be distracted by some of the notes you have to take because it's already going to be laid out in the PowerPoint presentations. Doesn't get better than that. So I really, really appreciate you. I thank you so much for listening. Let's make this thing happen, man. Let's make this thing happen. This is going to be fun. Peace to the family. Go to that brotherpolight.app. Let's make it happen. Okay? We're going to get into those detoxes and all that. It's going to be fun. Oh yeah, you know what it is. I mean, you're not going to see me with the best people in tennis and boxing and basketball and think that they not rubbing shoulders with the best as well. I'm the best at what I do. They the best at what they do. People making it sound like it's easy for me to get in those circles. And what people don't realize, I get called for people to meet me. I can't just find my way in a circle amongst the elite. It don't work like that in our culture. You can't just say, hey, I want to meet this person, and I just wind up there. The best always seek out the best. All the people that are the greatest at what they do, they meet each other from time to time because somebody asks the other one to see the other. That's how I met those people. I'm just responding to somebody who said, how the heck did you meet all those people? I was summoned. I was asked, yo, such and such want to talk to you about health, such and such want to talk to you about real estate, such and such want to talk to you about... I'm like, oh, word, wow, I always wanted to meet that person. And once you do good by people and they learn from you, you create a friendship more so than employee or a client relationship. You become friends. Yeah, so you register, you will get text updates this week because the course is on the 16th and the 17th. The courses will be, there's two different courses you could choose from. One is 120 and the other is 100. And then there's the packages if you get both courses, so forth and so on. So peace and many blessings to you. Love you all.